An American teacher gets 14 years for bringing weed into Russia, and Jon Stewart lashes out at Ted Cruz this week. This is Lo with Veriheal, keeping you up to date with the latest in cannabis news. A political activist who became one of Michigan's biggest advocates of cannabis legalization has unfortunately passed away at the young age of 35. She was chair of the Cannabis Caucus of the Michigan Democratic Party. And she was responsible for not only bringing awareness, but also for helping shape the state cannabis laws that are in effect today. Abbas suffered from seizures for her entire life and ultimately turned to cannabis after exhausting all options for medical intervention. She then turned to advocacy so that people could have access to medical cannabis. Veriheal is sending our condolences and all the good vibes to Zara's family, colleagues, and community. If you haven't been living under a rock, you know who Brittany Griner is and all about her situation. But did you guys know that there's another US citizen currently being held in the Bear Country for weed crimes? Last summer, US teacher Mark Fogel got popped in Moscow for possession of half an ounce of weed. Fogel had been teaching abroad for years and thought he'd be able to inconspicuously stash some bud in his luggage with little consequence. But he was oh so wrong. He's been sitting in a Russian jail ever since and just got slapped with a 14-year sentence. 14 years! If there's any lesson to be learned in any of this, it's to respect the laws of any country where cannabis is illegal. Be sure to check out Veriheal's own tips for traveling with cannabis so you can avoid a situation just like this. And lastly, you may have recently seen Jon Stewart lashing out at Ted Cruz about this, but is anyone surprised that veterans are getting the shaft? Backlash ensued earlier this week over the previously squashed PACT Act that considerably expands healthcare for veterans who are exposed to toxic burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. But with great enthusiasm, I'm here to report that after much protest, the US Senate has reconsidered and passed the PACT Act. Burn pits are where the military would burn trash and waste for disposal, and unfortunately, they're linked to several different types of diseases and cancers. Despite the health toll, Veterans Affairs has long held a hesitant stance on providing any meaningful help for these illnesses. Because of war and what it does to the body, veterans are facing rising rates of homelessness, mental health issues, and ailments stemming from their noble services. Medical cannabis alone is able to help many of these things, but we all know how slow the VA has been to accept this. There's a lot to be said of a country who sends its citizens to war and then is reluctant to take care of them when they come back home. For that, veterans deserve awareness, to be taken care of, and to have access to life-saving care that also includes medical cannabis. So go ahead and like this video and give us a follow at Veriheal to stay up to date with the latest in cannabis news. Thanks for watching.